Good afternoon. We're having a beautiful day here on Long Island. It was really so nice. I had my windows open today, but I don't know, the afternoon changed a little bit. Now we got some cloudiness and starting to cool down again. But it was perfect weather, and I think the coming week we're going to have some nice weather. So it was nice to see the sun and get some warmth for a change. But I hope you are all doing well this Friday, actually this Good Friday. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to the show today. You are listening to the Financial Chick Show, and I am the Financial Chick. I am your host, Denise Nostrom, the CEO and owner of Diversified Financial Solutions. Your Financial Chick is here to help you make better financial decisions and choices to improve your life and reduce your anxiety and stress about money. If you want to learn more about me or my firm, you can always check out my website at financialchickshow.com. We're also on Facebook at Diversified Financial Solutions, so like our pages to get updates and see what is happening. So today is a Good Friday for Christians that are celebrating all around the world, really. I know it's also Passover, so I just want to wish everybody, a good holiday season, and we have a holiday weekend just around the corner here. But this is one of the most interesting holidays because banks and post offices are open, but the stock market is closed. So it was actually really nice to be off today. I usually close the office since we don't have the stock market to attend with today. But I'm usually working when most people are off, so having off on Good Friday while most people are working is kind of a nice change, I'm not gonna lie. It's always great to recharge your batteries since it has been so busy these past couple of weeks, and we've been working a lot of hours, so that's a very good thing. So it was good, and I'm glad this is the first day of my 3-day weekend and the holiday weekend. So just a quick fun fact, the New York Stock Exchange has closed on the Friday before Easter every year since 1889. That's 1889, with two exceptions, which was 1906 and 1907. The holiday is a quirky one for financial markets in the United States because Good Friday isn't a federal holiday. In fact, it is among the few holidays that isn't both a Wall Street and federal holiday. So just a quick fun fact on that. But overall, it's been a pretty good week. We had tax day, April 15th, that came and went. That is always such a relief for everyone once that's over. So, of course, now it is a good time to review your tax return with your financial advisor and make sure you have a good plan for 2025. I guess what I basically saw this year, it was kind of a mixed bag. We had a good year in the market last year, so if you did have mutual funds not in your retirement account, there were a lot more capital gains that came through. People were shopping CDs or looking at high yield money markets. So, instead of having everything at the bank getting like 0.25, people were getting higher rates of return. So they definitely saw more interest. So I would say for the most part, people pretty much got back in federal. It just seems like always the case that people always have to pay for state. So I don't know. That was just kind of my overall, observation this particular season. But like I said, take a look at your tax return, see what you can do. If you've had a job change, you've had a baby, it's a good time to increase your 401ks, maybe open up that Roth IRA or IRA if you don't have a qualified plan available to you at work. Doesn't take a lot to start them. You can do as much as $50 a month to get that up and running. So get it started, work toward making your tax situation look better for next year. And we have that in play too. That we're hoping that they're going to change the tax laws where this year the tax changes of 2017 are going to sunset at the end of this year. So if Trump makes some changes, or actually not really Trump, it's actually the Congress, if they vote to mitigate or to fall back with the taxes and have them go back to the 2017 levels and not go up to the prior 2017 levels, which we're all praying for, then we should have a pretty good situation. But always stay close with your financial advisor or your accountant and just, do the things that are going to kind of help you keep more of what you earn, because that's the bottom line. That's what we want and what we need. So we didn't get to it last week, but we're going to talk a little bit about the T word. And again, it could be a drinking game. So every time you hear the word tariff, if you drank, you'd probably not be standing up so well. So I want to go over basically what is a tariff. So we know the recent headlines and the significant market drops has made us all feel really unsettled. And it's understandable, to wonder, if this time is truly different, or is it, something, is it going to be the end? Are we going to lose everything? In moments like this, Sir John Templeton's famous insight becomes particularly valuable. The 4 most dangerous words in investing are, "This time it's different." So since President Trump's election, markets have experienced ongoing volatility due to uncertainty about potential policies, particularly the T word, tariffs. The tariffs concerns have continued to influence investor sentiment and contributed to the stock market decline. But here are some things you should keep in mind. So the first thing is that tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods. They aim to encourage domestic manufacturing and help manage the trade deficit. While well-intended, tariffs can also mean higher costs for companies importing materials or goods from abroad. So we know that, obviously, if we're getting things from overseas and they're taxing us a little bit more, or vice versa, things are going to cost more, to us. So, all right, well, what's the real impact? Some industries, like manufacturing, may face higher costs, which could impact profits. Other sectors, like healthcare and utilities, are less affected due to their largely domestic operations. So the bottom line is that what the administration is trying to do is to get manufacturing to come back to the United States. And by doing so, they're trying to give incentives to make that happen. Obviously, we want to have things made here. I mean, when you talk to people, everybody gets aggravated and they're upset. They're like, well, everything's made in China. I mean, everything you pick up, you pick up your phone case, you pick up a bottle of, I don't know, anything. I can't even think of good examples, but everything that you see, every little tchotchke that you have is made in China. Everything is made in China. So we're trying to make that change. So if we can get people to produce here, yes, it costs more here, but that's kind of with the game. It's really a wheeling and dealing that the president's doing. But let's kind of go through a few more things, and then we'll kind of make a summation of all this. But so what does tariffs mean to you? Short-term volatility is normal in financial markets. If you've been in the game, that's the case. Some people are newer to the game and kind of plowed their money all into the Magnificent Seven, and we're buying things that were already very expensive and now are feeling the pain. So I feel bad for those people, but this is typically a normal situation. The S&P 500, an index of the largest stocks in the United States, has gained about 10.5% annually since its inception in 1957. This covers almost a 70-year period of wars, recessions, political upheavals, irrational exuberance, and boom and bust cycles. Investors who maintain discipline and remain in the market over the long term have been rewarded. So the bottom line is that, yes, a lot of this is due to the tariffs and the uncertainty. I mean, nobody likes uncertainty, especially the stock market. The stock market, they want to have basically a direction. When we think of our own selves, we don't like to have uncertainty in our lives too. That makes you uneasy, but it is part of the game. And if you listened to the show last week, we talked about the fact too that the market's been doing very well the past 2 years. 2022 is a down year, most of 2023, but 2023, after the Fed stopped increasing rates, shot up. We had a good year in 2023 because of 2 months out of the year, with the policy change there, and then 2024 was a really good year. So even if we didn't have the tariff talk, we still probably would have a market that is pulling back a little bit, or at least in certain sections, because a lot of things were very overbought and very pricey. So it's just kind of a correction, which we all need from time to time. So, against the backdrop here, basically, we're looking at the tariff situation. Really, it's a story in like 4 different ways. There's 4 different things that are going on. And I'm not going to get to all these before the break, but let's start with the first one. First thing is decoupling. Part of the motivation of the latest tariffs is to reduce dependence on single-source supply chains, particularly in countries such as China, where the trade war has been focused for years. The type of tariff is aimed at bringing some manufacturing activity back to the United States, which I just mentioned. So, that's one of the main thrusts of this, is that we listen, if we don't do anything, there'll be no change, and change is hard. So what we're going through right now is going to be a tough situation. We don't know how it's all going to play out, but the bottom line, what we do know is that something's happening, and we just got to hope for the best. But you're listening to the Financial Chick Show. This is Denise Nostrom, the company's Diversified Financial Solutions. Stay tuned after the break. We'll talk more about the T word, tariffs. That was a quick segment. Oh my God.
2 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know, like everything, I feel like life, everything is just going so quickly. It's crazy, you know? But.
Especially this week. Like, I still feel like it's a Tuesday, which is, no, well, today, Friday feels like Friday, but it was just Tuesday.
I do understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's like a whirlwind. It really is. It's crazy stuff, man. Just breathe in, breathe out. That's it. That's all we can do. I forgot my water today. I'm like a little off kilter being off from work.
You like your water bottle?
Oh, no, I usually bring my water. I forgot it today.
I have an extra bottle.
Oh no, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay.
No, I just went to like reach for it. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't got it.
That's like the one time you leave your Stanley home. You know you're like.
I know.
The aluminum. I think it's aluminum or just it's insulated water bottle that everybody has now.
Mm-hmm. I got one for Christmas.
Nice.
1 minute, you said?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
$30 seconds.
Thank you. All right, almost ready to roll.
10 seconds.
Okay. Welcome back. This is Denise Nostrom, the Financial Chick. My company is in Medford, and you can reach me at 631-758-8691 or visit my website at financialchickshow.com. I'm here to help you on your financial journey. Over the years, things change, and I'm here to help you navigate all those changes. So, what's the deal with tariffs? We were talking a little bit before the break about tariffs, and we will continue to do so on this half. All right, so basically, with the tariff story, we're really we're viewing it in 4 different ways here. First thing I talked about was decoupling. So part of the motivation is for the latest tariffs to reduce the dependence on a single source supply chain, which is basically China. Where the trade war has been focused for many, many years, but no one's really done anything about it. And the goal is to get as much manufacturing as we can back to the United States, like we were back in the day. Second thing is rebalancing. So-called reciprocal tariffs are intended to restore balance with other trading partners, such as Europe, Japan, Mexico, and Canada. The goal here is to lower the U.S. trade deficit and compel these countries to facilitate a more balanced trade. So, basically the whole initiative here is it's kind of like we're looking at all these agreements, all these arrangements that we have, and we're seeing if they're still adequate. Things change over time. In our office, we're having so much change right now too. I've been working with a financial planning program for probably 20 years, and they were just bought out by another company, and we're moving over to this new platform, and it's been a freaking nightmare. So change is never easy, but I'm hoping that it's going to be good. And actually, the program does look good. It has a lot more bells and whistles, I guess you can say, that I think are going to be really, really great for my clients. But oh my Lord, we're on the phone with them all the time. Plans are not coming out right, and it has just been a lot of growing pains. So, with tariffs and with the United States, growing pains is what it's going to be. But again, if you do the same thing over and over again, you're not going to have any different outcome. So that's why this is important. All right, the third portion of the tariff story is negotiating. The Trump administration has made it clear that some tariffs are specifically meant to pressure other countries to assist with U.S. policy goals, such as cracking down on illegal immigration and curbing the cross-border flow of illicit drugs, especially fentanyl. Again, this is not a terrible thing. I mean, the drugs in this country has been killing a lot of our citizens. And, the immigration thing, I'm not even going to bring that today into the story, but, we have a lot of issues, a lot of problems. And, Americans, hardworking Americans, can't get services and things that they need because, again, there's just a certain amount of resources that can be spread around. So, just like, I always use the example being in the airport, right? When you're flying, they always say when the oxygen mask comes down, put it on your face first and then help your children or an older person get yourself strength. That's what the United States is trying to do right now, trying to get strong again. We are the leader. We help the world, but we need help. I mean, we're a little sick right now, so we need to get things back on track. So number 4, the last thing is funding. Tariffs are seen as a way to raise revenue for the United States government and potentially offset the impact of other policy goals, including tax cuts and regulatory reform. So, Trump, whether you like him or not, he is a businessman, and he has run businesses. He understands. He's interacted with people. He deals with leaders all through the world, and he's got a master plan. It's not just one thing, and we're just going to do this and see what happens. I don't think he really does anything without really exploring it. We've seen some other things where we've heard Congress people, won't mention any names, but we just need to sign the bill to see what's in it. Do you remember that little ditty? Well, that's probably not the best case scenario. So none of us know exactly what's going to happen with this. Are the tariffs going to be successful? Are they not going to be successful? But the bottom line is that things are happening. We're moving forward. And listen, just got to have a leap of faith and hope that this is going to be good. I mean, I've seen so many people come into my office, saying, I shouldn't say so many, some people in my office come to my office and say, they're just devastated. This is horrible. Everything's terrible. I don't know what we're going to do. There's no hope for the future. And, just really out of their minds. And, I get it. I mean, things are kind of crazy, but you can't let politics impact your investment goals. That's the bottom line. And you can't let emotion cloud what it is that you're looking to do. And I think a lot of people are doing that right now. And it's not going to be beneficial to anybody. And if we go back, I had a client come in the office, and I tried to go back and just kind of give some history that, kind of educate the person, and got very angry and stormed out of the office. This is very rare, I will tell you, but unfortunately we have a few of them. We don't need to be at this point. My goal, it's bipartisan. I help anybody, but we need to be able to talk to each other as adults, because the last time I checked, we were. And I think that's important, and I think that's for everybody. We're going into the holiday weekend, and we'll be seeing family and friends, and hopefully we can all get along. Again, it's a joyous, and it's a religious holiday weekend for Jewish and Christians alike, and hopefully we can all just kind of get along and be happy. So again, there are good things that are happening. Look at the flowers are blooming, the trees are blooming, and the flowers are coming up, and everything, it's getting warmer, so it's all good. So the next thing I want to talk about is Social Security. Another biggie that people are just freaking out, and it's being taken away and all that. So let's dispel some of these myths. I'm blessed to be able to have a lot of really, really smart people that I'm surrounded with that I get information every single week. So I want to bring that to you and share with you some things that you might have heard. They may not be exactly correct information. So it's understandable. Everybody's, confused, and Social Security obviously supports millions of Americans, and is thought of, and the thought of it disappearing obviously can be totally a terrifying situation. But like a lot of topics, and my daughter just sent me something too about something on TikTok that she saw, and then I told her it was not accurate, and she was like, "Oh my God, I really thought it was true," but just like everything, the reality is far more nuanced than the headlines suggest. So we're going to talk about some of the worries or concerns. So the first one is Social Security is cutting its staff by 50%. So here's the real story. Yes, Social Security is definitely reducing its workforce, but not by anything close to 50%. They have stated that they're reducing their total workforce from 57,000 to 50,000, with the goal of these reductions being to eliminate redundancies and non-mission critical work efforts. Most of the reductions are expected to be accomplished through retirements and voluntary separations. So there's that. Okay. Social Security is closing local field offices. As of this writing, Social Security has not announced the closure of any local field offices. The misunderstanding may stem from the announcing restructuring in which the SSA stated that it's reducing its regional offices to from 10 to 4. Let's see. Okay, then I just want to get some good ones. We're running out of time again. Okay, so here's the other big one. Social Security is going bankrupt. According to the most recent Social Security Trustees report, Social Security can pay full benefits through 2035, so 10 years, full benefits, at which point the famed Social Security Trust Fund would be depleted. Beyond that time, assuming Congress takes no further action to remedy this issue, the SSA would initially still be able to pay about 83% of all scheduled benefits. Now, I want to apologize because I did have incorrect information, but I think things have gotten a little bit better. I was saying it was 72%. It is now 83%, which is better, but still not great, because that just means if you put in 100,000, I'm just using an example, you're only getting out 83,000, so that's still not so swell, But so this is mostly because Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system. Obviously, the potential outcome is not ideal, but it's far from the doomsday scenario of that you're getting 0% or zero benefits. So basically, that's a lot more to say there, but I'll leave it at that. So the bottom line is that there's a lot of misunderstandings or things that are not exactly true that you're hearing or you're reading. Don't let that ruin your day or your life. Find out what the real story is, and if the real story is detrimental, that's when you start being worried. But if it's not, just know that things are not as bad as it seems. So we're coming to the end of the show. I want to wish you a happy Easter and a happy Passover. Enjoy this time with your family and friends. Let's do it all again next Friday. Have a great weekend. All right. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you got some information. Whoops. I hope you are not stressing out. I know it's hard. Things are crazy. Change is hard. And we never know where it's going to fall. But you know what? I think we're going to be okay. There's been so much change through the history, through the decades, and it's just always going to happen. That's the only constant is change, and death and taxes too. But anyway, have a great weekend, everyone, and have a happy Easter and Passover, and enjoy the time with your family and friends. Bye-bye.